Have you ever been in this situation before? You and your group of friends are having a great time shooting the shit on, whatever. Then, all of a sudden, while you're shooting the shit, the conversation starts to shift. All of a sudden, you notice they're talking about something strange. Something you don't know about. As it advances, everyone is starting to talk in what might as well be a foreign language because you don't understand a word coming out of their mouths. And the whole time, you have a look of bewilderment like a tourist who accidentally walked in on a local joint. While you sit there ruminating in silence, thoughts come to your head. What am I supposed to say? Who do I talk to? How long is it before they kick me out of this group for being both incompetent and hopelessly fucking stupid? If you've ever found yourself in this situation thinking these thoughts, you may have something in common with approximately 100% of the population, because everybody's been in the dark in a few conversations in their life. But it's what you do in these situations that tell what kind of person you are. Of course, you could always just keep your mouth shut and listen or leave, but really, why would you ever do anything as peaceful and normal as that? You're exceptional. Everything needs to be centered around you. So pass yourself off as someone who does know this mysterious knowledge everyone but you knows. How do you do that? Well, one option is you could actually learn what you're talking about so you don't sound like a fraud because you know what you're talking about. But you don't have time to check and see whether you're actually right. You just need to look like you're right. So for this exercise, we'll be going down the route of being a complete fraud and pretending. Don't actually have the talent to be a con man? Don't worry, you're in luck, because in today's age, it is easier than ever to be a complete fraud in anything you do. Because with the advent of social media, you no longer need to look somebody in the eyes when you're lying to their face about things you have or have not done. So now you pass yourself off as qualified to talk about something. But what do you do with those qualifications? Well, the first thing you do with the qualifications is immediately leverage them like you are an authority on what you're talking about. Of course, you don't actually know what you're talking about, but it's not hard to pretend you do. Because after all, you don't actually need to be knowledgeable to be notable in a certain community. All you need is the magic of takes. What are takes? Well, they're just a fancy word for opinions which you may or may not agree with. But what makes these takes different from a regular old opinion is that these are socially engineered to be as controversial as possible and at least pretend to be important to the overall discussion. But the magic of this take is that they're built upon the majority opinion, not the actual source material that the opinion is coming from. So you don't actually need to study any source material in the slightest. All you need to do is look at what other people are saying and just form a conclusion based solely off of what people are talking about. But you can actually take this a step further. You don't even need to make up your own arguments. All you need to do is find somebody who talks about this stuff and just steal all of their opinions, because it already comes pre-baked with any arguments you would ever need. You don't actually need to do something as stupid as examining the research for yourself. You have other people do that for you. Why bother formulating anything of your own when you can just steal? Yeah, there might be other people formulating their own arguments to be better than that, but those dumbasses actually bother to spend more than a cursory amount of time on learning about what comes out of their mouth. And that's where they lose. Because yeah, given enough time, you're going to lose an argument against somebody who knows what they're talking about. No matter how much spin you put on it, you're gonna be wrong at the end of the day. But in the time it takes to douse one fire of bad takes, you've already set the rest of the block into a blazing inferno of surface level assumptions that are blatantly wrong and would take a team of people disproving everything you say to completely put it out. And maybe a small minority of people actually want to perpetuate the correct information so that no misinformation gets out there, but a lot of other people have lives. And what I mean by that is that most people have even less time than you do, and they can't even worry about whether something is right or not. So they'll just see something that sounds, a little different and latch onto it so they can be a little different too. And what you'll quickly realize is that these pretenders vastly outnumber the people who actually know what they're talking about. And when you got the majority opinion backing you, you can say whatever the hell you want. Because now, you got a whole wildfire behind you. So you can actually use this wildfire to your advantage. Have a favorite character that's actually kind of bad? Go away, flaws! He's perfect now. See something get praised even though you dislike it? Sick the mob on them. And most importantly, do you see someone interpreting something differently than you? Well, they're wrong. And even if they are right, they're wrong. Because you see, interpretation is very important, perhaps more important than the real thing. Because with the magic of this interpretation, any work of art can be literally anything you say it is. characters too complex and difficult for you to understand, just keep simplifying them until you do get it. Thought something was just a meme thing and not actually serious? Just pretend it's still a meme thing. It's just as funny. Your favorite show have a theme that runs completely contrary to how you live your life? Just tweak it till it's not. You can do all these weird, self-serving, and probably wrong interpretations because no matter how dumb your crowd or you may be, the fact is, you're still a crowd. And the power of that crowd is being able to denounce anything foolish enough to be correct in your presence because they don't agree with you, so why would you even bother entertaining that bullshit? After all, you're an important part of this community. Even though you don't actually watch or play anything it's based on, don't really care about anything in it specifically, don't even like the people in there, and wait, what are you even doing here?